to DeFi, Degens, Drip, and Farm for Poverty, where on this channel, our vision is to empower the impoverished by helping you find financial freedom through crypto assets. Please subscribe and leave a comment and a thumbs up. Hey guys, welcome back. DeFi, Degens, Drip, and Farm for Poverty. So today just going to be talking about kind of the macro trend and what's going on in the markets because like I said, I don't actually pay attention to the charts and stuff every day. I even removed it off my phone from the home screen. I used to have CoinMarketCap on the home screen so I could see what's going on. But now I only jump in whenever it happens to pop up in one of the chats that I'm in. So I decided to check because I woke up this morning and people were talking about BNB being down, and which is true, it is. So in the past 24 hours, a lot of the top 10, so to speak, have dropped by 5 to 10%. But what I thought was interesting is that when you compare it to Drip, so that's the project we're talking about, right? So it's like, I'm gonna bring up some data points that I put together in Excel spreadsheet just to give you an understanding. But if you look at the 7-day trend for all these, the big cryptos, so they all follow Drip. They all follow Bitcoin, and the average or whatever would be like 15 to 30% that they're down. And this is this is in the home page. Let's go back to the home page. That's my personal watch list. But you go to the home page. These are stable coins, so they don't count. And we saw that UST fell for 100%. But anyway, when you look at the 7-day trend, you can just see everything is in red, except for whatever this is. But it's just red all around, red, and 20% or more on average in the 7-day trend. These are like the top 50 cryptos. So I put them together on this spreadsheet, not a spreadsheet, but my watch list. And you got Drip down here that's up by almost 9% at the 7-day. It's down 5, but this 5 that it went down wasn't anything related directly to Drip sell-offs or anything. That was related 100% right here. The 6% drop in BNB in 24 hours equated to 5.5% drop in Drip. So we've had the same sell volume that we've always had for this continual downside pressure that we've seen for the last 4 months. So Drip is doing actually really well. Yes, from where it started, it's down substantially, but the fact that you can look at these top 10, top 50 cryptos and see that over the 7-day period, they're down, like I said, 15 to 30 to 40%. Like Avalanche is a coin on the AVAX network, or Avalanche network. AVAX is a coin on the Avalanche network. So all these are actual coins used to power the networks, and these things are down. So they have a lot more quote unquote utility than Drip, but yet Drip is up 9%. So that's very interesting when you look at it from that perspective. But I also wanted to pull this chart up to like kind of put it into another perspective so you can see like what does that actually mean. So I went ahead and put this together real simply. So these are the all-time highs, just these 3 plus Drip. So the all-time high for Bitcoin, and this is kind of rounded depending on the chart, but from CoinMarketCap with whole dollar values. So Bitcoin and ETH hit their all-time highs on November 9th of last year, 67,000 and 4,700. BNB hit its all-time high before that, and it never came back to that at the same time. But that's 675, and Drip hit its all-time high January of this year at 168 bucks. So if we zoom out, this should say the 13th to today, you'll see that it's been 216 days for those two in their all-time high. You're down 61 and 71%. BNB, it's been 406 days, over a year, from its all-time high, and it's down 64%. And Drip, it's only been 137 days, and it's down 94%. So what this represents is if you had invested $1,000 into any of these at their all-time high, this is what your current value would be worth in USD. But here's the interesting part. Remember, Drip, you're paid out 1% daily and you can compound that. So I went ahead and added this block here, which would say that right now you would actually have 19.32 Drip if you had bought $1,000 worth, and you would have hydrated every day. So you originally would have deposited 5.29 after taxes, and your hydration cost for this 138 days, 37, would be $82.80. So that combined investment would have you at $1,082.80. And you have total drip value, number wise, 19.32. What at the current cost of drip, so just 10.68 times 19.32 is $206. Now, I went ahead and said what would happen at 216 days, since that's where this is at. I just said, okay, 216 days, that's another 70 days or so from now. And you always double your drip number every 74 to 75 days. Can't remember which one it is. So you'd have 40 if you were to give it the same amount of time as just the top two, Bitcoin and ETH. And that would give you 40, and it would cost you $1,100. So what does that mean though? Well, yes, if you're looking at just the drip price, you are down a lot more than any of the other ones. So if you had bought in and held any of these cryptos, you would be down, and the least you'd be down is 61%, and the most you'd be down right now in drip is 94%. But here's where it gets interesting. So at drip price of $15, so this is where you have to question yourself, can drip get back to these prices, right? So if drip gets back to $15, you're only down 73%. $20, you're literally matched with everything else right now. And that seems fair. If everything else is down, then you can expect that when BNB and all this goes back up, you'd be sitting right in line with everything else and you'd be able to appreciate. But what about if it goes to 30, you're only down 46%, 40, down 29%, and if it gets to 50, you are only down 11%. So that would be saying if it got to these prices, like literally right now, if we just flipped the switch and it got to these prices. We know that's not gonna happen for anything. So I just wanted to put it in perspective, because remember, drip pays you every single day that these don't. None of these other top 10, top 50, top 100, whatever, are not paying you 1% per day. Now, granted, if you were taking profits on this, quote unquote taking profits, you're not taking profits, I already explained that in another video, then yeah, you wouldn't see this same appreciation that I'm talking about. But if you were just hydrating on the way down here, and then you believe that in the next month or two, drip can go back up to these prices, then I think we'll be sitting pretty. I put these yellow lines to show where there's resistance and or support depending on when we flip. But right now, remember, the farms have basically been paused, or drip has been broken, if you want to call it that, for the last 4 months. So if you're like me and you believe that all this new utility will indeed help drip rebound, then I believe that these prices that I'm forecasting here are definitely within its scope, especially these two, 2 to 3x from where we're at. We already saw a 25% pump just from dropping the drip supply by about 30K. So when you look at Telegram Drip Reservoir, they put out this sit rep, and this was on July 10th. The supply went from like 207 or 210, I can't remember, down to 189, and the price was at $8 to $9, and it jumped back up to 12. So we saw a 25% increase when the supply dropped by 30 grand. So when you have to factor all this in and then decide, what do you think will happen with this community, with all of the members, all the use cases and everything that's going on? This seems completely realistic to me. So point being for this video is that no matter what you got in, you're wrecked. And if you're taking profits in a bear market, you're even more wrecked. But if you can zoom out and be willing to wait, like Bitcoin always rebounds and then everything else follows. So if you understand the blockchain and understand, as Kevin O'Leary says, Raoul Paul, Michael Saylor, Bitcoin is not like a crypto in regards to just money. It is a technology, and technology is a one-way street. We never ever go backwards in technology. You can't unwind the internet. You can't unwind electricity. You can't take any things out. We only go forward with tech. So when you understand that blockchain is actually a tech and not just a get-rich-quick scheme, then you understand that these prices that we're seeing, they may see some downside volatility, but they're gonna go back up. Now, what of all these cryptos will still be here? Nobody knows, right? We thought that Luna was too big to fail. It technically is still here, but it has migrated to version 2, and it did fail by like $40 billion. But the blockchain in and of itself will still be here, and I'm betting that Binance and all these will still be here. So Binance and Ethereum and all that. So that being said, now is like the absolute best opportune time. I don't know where the floor will actually be. Talked about that in other videos. It's somewhere between, I'm going to say this $6 range. That's what we had before. And 12, right now. So that's a range, yes, at 50%. But if you're getting in now, you are way better off than anyone else that got in earlier than you. Except for this people right here that got in on the 8th. Like, if you had have been lucky enough to get in from the 3rd to the 8th of June. Like, that little window of opportunity, for right now, it was the absolute best time prior to way back. I can't even see it because I'm not on days. Way back when Drip launched. So, not financial advice, of course, but I think this is like literally the opportunity of a lifetime, or of at least this year, because I don't think we will see these low prices again, but we don't know where it will go. But if you're getting in now, you can at least dollar cost average. And like I said, until the farms unpause and this whole thing goes live, the new drip UI, the new farm UI, the new dog roulette game, the new pig pen game, and the drip lottery scratch offs. When those launch, nobody knows. We're hoping for the minimum amount of delays, but the point being, with all of that additional utility, why would Drip go below back here when there was zero utility? I think they might have had the bee farm at this stage here, but I don't remember exactly on the chart. But point being, way, way, way more utility, way, way, way more people in Drip, and way more bigger community and things of that nature. So the likelihood of seeing a similar price floor that we had before doesn't seem likely. It could, for sure, but it just seems as though it's going to actually rebound again off of this, especially if the farms and stuff come online as they're supposed to. So brought this up as well to show the Faucet players. Shows you that people are hydrating twice as much as people that are claiming and airdropping, and almost it's like just a 40% higher that's claiming versus deposit. So when you add these two up, it's 3x, almost 2.5x more than people that are claiming, which means that's taxes and things going back into the system, meaning Drip is not going to zero anytime soon, if not ever. We got 2,000 people being added this month. We're not going to probably break 6,000 from last month or any of these all-time highs, but when the farms unlaunch with the new chief marketing officer, I think, there could be a lot of marketing to go on. I don't know if it'll get back up to here, but there'll definitely be new people coming in, and there's new use cases, and then it's a game and things of that nature they can market. So right now, the biggest selling pressure, as we see, is from these people that would typically have been in Drip at least about 6 months to have this amount of Drip. I'm in right about 4 months, and I purchased my way to this same thing, so I can say that, that's not a quick feat for anyone, unless they're putting in a lot of capital. So this is the biggest sell pressure in the system. 14%, 8, that's 20, 22, 23, 28, 31. So 1/3 of the drippers are in this part of the ecosystem. The rest are probably down here somewhere. Or maybe it looks like, it's quite a bit here as well. But anyway, so this was just to give you guys an overview, let you look at when you zoom out, like you say, when in doubt, zoom out and see how the entire market is playing. And the analysts and all the experts are saying that, we can see a lot more downside volatility. But the cool thing, again, about Drip is that it has two dexes. One tied to BUSD and one tied to BNB. That's the Sword and Shield protocol. So even if this value here, which I believe is the BUSD value, drops, we'll see an arbitrage between the two, because BUSD is more stable than BNB in that pair, so therefore people will buy on that DEX. I didn't actually look at what the native one is at right now. Let's just see real quick, because they stay within one another, within like 15%, due to the I gotta connect, so I'm not pulling it up. Let's see, DripFi, does that show up? DripFi. I don't know if you got to be connected on this one to see it. But long story short, the whole point of this was just to show you guys how the entire market is being affected and how we are actually doing better than literally all of the other top coins. So we're back at 9 on the all the other top tokens. Sorry, some coins that are on the other blockchains and some on BNB. And that we are actually in a really good spot. So now is, if not the best time this year, within now and the next 2 to 3 weeks, depends on the farms, to get in. So not financial advice, of course, but do your own research, yada, yada, yada. Lift daily and achieve your impossible. See ya.